Blog Talk Radio.
And so the Duke of Tears retired to the obsidian halls of Heru and sat upon his throne built of microphone bones and contemplated the design of the pocket universe.
Like a gun, brother, what's up? Bangers, throw his chest up, pulling they sweats up, shorties getting sex up. Whoever's next up, better get a chest up.
Boulevard of broken dreams, when niggas scheme, attracted to the glisten gleam of the triple beam. The angel Gabriel appeared to me through my TV, and asked if we can maybe see who was the ultimate MC. The battle was cataclysmic, causing waters to rise and flood the planet. Gigantic were the waves. I caused the earth to quake for 40 nights and 40 days. Amazed, I left the haze that lasted 7 days. By the time I was through, I had already won. He blew his horn and it was born. I was indeed the champion. For the sun and I was done. Mind heavy like a ton with a razor tongue. That's how the battle gets won in pocket universe.
Boy, hit you like a gun, boy. Brother, what's up? Bangers, throw his chest up, pulling they sweats up, shorties getting sex up. Whoever's next up, better get a chest up.
I make the pussy percolate when I make an appearance. Cause interference, cause a clearance, bringing police appearance. Hip hop is getting old. His children done turn cold. We about to make the final turn up on the grassy knoll. It's time to pay the toll. It's like the cable toll. Like many men before, they chose to do for show. Please hear what I say, that there's another way, that we can still win the war, overcome the grave. They resurrect the slave, that's what they want today. They want you picking cotton, fetching water, baling hay. That's all in your mind, brother, we way behind. We the national treasure, is there a map to find? What if I could rewind? Our life will make a drastic climb to the stars. Without the stripes, yeah right, niggas is wheeling pipes. This is the plight that goes on in the dawn, through the night, in the dark, in the heart of pocket universe.
Boy, hit you like a gun, boy. Brother, what's up? Bangers, throw his chest up, pulling they sweats up, shorties getting sex up. Whoever's next up, better get a chest up.
He in the heart of man, he like to understand, and why he need to go and conquer many foreign lands, and why he need to kill, and why he need fulfill, and why the earth to dominate and overcome the will. If there's a way I will, I wanna hear but still. Do I keep what I kill, or do I give it back? Can I reanimate and maybe baby charge it back? It's like most rappers lacking then, and then on top of that, they lead the people down the wrong track, still selling crack. They teach you how to chop that, box that, and rock that. Break off the wet, then you go and rock that. If you ask for a job, then they tell you stop that. Gotta walk with cheesecake with a backpack that's maybe full of rocks with razor socks and got a hot back. I'm like the boondocks with dreadlocks and feather jacks. I'm the Duke of Tears, I still remember that within the universe.
Boy, hit you like a gun, boy. Brother, what's up? Bangers, throw his chest up, pulling they sweats up, shorties getting sex up. Whoever's next up, better get a chest up. Boy, hit you like a gun, boy. Brother, what's up? Bangers, throw his chest up, pulling they sweats up, shorties getting sex up. Whoever's next up, better get a chest up.
That's what's up. What's up, everybody? This is aseer, the Duke of Tears. You are now tuned in to Super Heru Radio with me and my brother, Saga Saad Ali. What's up, homie? Peace. Chillin', how the brother feeling? The joint you just heard was from one of the new songs coming off the album, The Birth Record. Everybody can check that out. You go to my website, pick that up. It's the album, Me and My Queen. That was produced by the God Interfy, Kapata. And here we are again, man. What is this, the 9th show? 10th? What is this? It's the 8th. The 8th. The 8th show. So, yeah, here we are again. Super Heru Radio. Yep. Doing our thing. Yep. Going strong. The Build and Destroy episode. Yes, sir. Got a lot to build on. A lot of shit happened from the last time we spoke. I hope everybody keeping track, because I am. Excuse me, I'm is. And because I'm saying that we talked about the war coming to South America last week and the week before that. He told people to look out for earthquakes dealing in South America again, specifically Cuba. Lo and behold, Cuba got hit with a 6.4. If you could do the knowledge, all of these earthquakes are always between, they never below 6. That's what I'm peeping. They never below 6. They're always between 6 and 8. We've yet to reach a 9 joint. So when we get the 9, that's probably what they saving for America, God forbid. But you know how these bastards do. You know, a lot of other stuff going on in the so-called media. A lot of stuff going on in the so-called world, if we could call it that anymore. You know. How was your week, G?
Oh, man. I'm pretty sure, you know, our listeners in the New York area can attest. The weather's just been again, it's crazy. It's like, it's hot. You know, we got some good weather, some 20-degree weather in the house. You know, Mother Earth, you know, bringing the rains again, bringing those showers to, you know, clean the earth again. Because it's, you know, storming out there right now.
Mhm.
You know,
oh, yes, it's storming up by you right now?
Yeah.
See, it was storming down here earlier. And then I'm bugging because today was my born day, you know what I'm saying? So as soon as I wake up, I'm seeing all of this rain and shit. So, you know, whenever your birthday, when you wake up and you see rain on your birthday, you know, that can really bum you out if you understand that the rain is just another version of, as just another way of, let's say, the ancestors washing the path for you, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't take it like as a negative. So based on that, you know, when I came up, started doing the knowledge to the day, doing my research, preparing for tonight, you know, the sun started coming out and all of that. So, you know, big up Mom Dukes for allowing me to come through. Happy Mother's Day to you. That's the other thing people need to realize. Like, Mother's Day is not the day that the white man tell you it is. Mother's Day is the day that you come out of your mother.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So technically your birthday is Mother's Day too.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So we need to do the knowledge, you know, those people that's not doing the knowledge for that aspect of it. As far as the cryptic news, your man, Big Barry O, man, that nigga passed the death care bill.
Yeah,
you know,
very
he passed
so.
the death care bill. So it's a wrap now, so you're going to watch out. You got to start preparing for people start talking about the euthanasia shit that's attached to the bill. First of all, to keep it real, everybody should do the knowledge that nobody and everybody who signed on to this bill, none of them have read it.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. Number two, not only did they not read it, they didn't write it either.
Mm-hmm.
So number three, there's 25,948 pages in the goddamn bill. And we also should understand that the word bill, whenever you're dealing with government, means that somebody has to pay for it.
Yep.
So when you get a bill at the end of your meal and you don't pay, you know, you either washing dishes or they locking you up.
Yep.
So because you know, those black people that voted for this motherfucker in office now, you got to realize now that you are all complicit in whatever this motherfucker is doing.
Well,
whatever this demon is doing, whatever this, you know what I'm saying, whatever this demon is doing, whatever this demon is talking about bringing for the so-called American people, you know what I mean, you are part of that now. So everybody that was really bigging this nigga up and all that, don't start hating on the nigga now because he's starting to reveal that he's a Nazi, you know. Don't start getting upset now that, well, one, he's never done anything for original people, but that's not really what his job was. His job was to basically, put it like this. The Boule got this shit so hooked up now that they're about to have an open townhouse meeting and talk about the relevancy of black culture in America because you have a black president. You hear what I'm saying? These people are saying, they are debating the relevancy of your culture as original black men, original black women, Moorish women, dark women, Kemet women, whatever type of woman you want to be. If you're melanated, they are having a discussion, an open form discussion with all of these so-called luminaries in the black society who are getting together to basically put a death nail in your culture.
Mm-hmm.
They are basically getting ready to say that because you have a black president, you don't have an issue as black people anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So move on and get it over with.
Yep.
And guess what? These niggas are going to allow them to do it
Ain't nobody
because
gonna them niggas.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna do nothing. They're not gonna got against that.
Anybody's gonna do it, son. Anybody's gonna do it. They're gonna let these dudes do whatever the fuck they want, and it's gonna get worse. And again, those of us in the know who've already seen this thing coming down the pike, you have to understand now, you or we are much more of a commodity now, because those brain-dead black people, which represent 95 to, let's say, 96.7 of our original global population, they are all going to be running to y'all trying to figure out what's going on, like what they can do. Because, again, this healthcare bill is really a part of something that we talked about on the 6th show, which is a book that the man came out with in the clandestine circles called The Human Resource Exploration Manual. And this is a manual that tells you how to turn a human being into a supernatural machine that allows you to incarnate and travel to other dimensions and things through by using different parts of the human being in the process. So all of this is up under this so-called healthcare thing. You know what I mean? And again, people don't even know who wrote it. So I don't know, if you didn't read it and you don't know who wrote it, how you could be debating on whether or not you should use it or not. This is the type of low-level magic that these people have been using on their so-called populace, and all of these people is letting them do it. Let me tell you, man, the so-called forefathers, founding fathers, what is this nigga? George Washington, one of these niggas revolted over less shit than this. Mm-hmm. They heard that the Queen was going to put a tax on this shit, and these niggas started wilding. You know what I mean? They didn't have no proof. Yeah. These niggas heard some shit. It was like, nah, you can't let these Moors rock forever, man. And ever since then, they've been trying to keep it secret. So we got to really do the knowledge, man. You got to really pay attention. Because what they're also doing, part of the bill also, is that they're creating a situation where those people that have good health insurance and health care plans, they are the ones that's going to be paying for everybody else. Yep. Which, again, is going to cause revolt in the upper echelon of the rich white folk. In a similar story, in a related story, I don't know how related it is, a black nigga got caught up in Twitter because he basically threatened to kill Obama. He tweeted the nigga. This nigga tweeted Obama talking about how he's going to assassinate him. and then they gripped him up. Yeah, they gripped him up. He's gripped up now, so he could be doing Fed time. Yeah, but that goes to show you that Twitter's monitored. You know what I'm saying? And that goes to show you that the powers that be that control Twitter are the same powers that be that control all this other shit, so that if you could write something on Twitter and then they come bring charges against you. You know what I'm saying? I know people have been saying that for a long time, not only to clap Obama, but to clap almost every president. You know what I mean? They ain't getting good because they ain't doing it on Twitter. Not on MySpace and that type of stuff either. The beast control all of that. Mm-hmm. You know, somebody was asking, like, yeah, you know, MySpace is controlled by Fox. Come on, man. Yep. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. These dudes, they trying to get in, you know, they want to buy it up and, you know, sit back and watch. And they move and they strike, but they only strike at those people, as my grandmother would say, monkeys know which tree to climb. They only strike at those people that you get. Yeah, monkeys do know which tree to climb. You're right. You're right. They do. They do. Monkey know which way to clean time. Just like my grandma used to say, she used to say, money make the mayor run. You know? And that's exactly what's going on. Speaking of mayor, you got your man Doomberg, who just put out another thing in New York. Michael Doomberg, who just say, yo, anybody who gets caught with herb, he just came out this today, so anybody getting caught with herb, they got to go to mandatory rehab now. But again, this is all couched in the whole health care bill that this nigga has. Excuse me, the death care bill that this nigga is doing. You dig? So also, when you do the knowledge, when you go online and you watch the Republicans and the Democrats who agreed to this farce, right? When you look at pictures of them, you see Nancy Pelosi standing in the middle holding a giant gavel. And then she's standing next to one of these old school student nonviolent committee niggas. And she's holding his hand. And then when you look back, when they do the pulling back, you see all of them are holding hands. That's the ritual. Because remember, what it is they're showing is that they're in united front against everybody else holding hands. So Barry's in a situation now where now that he felt like, see, they had to give him this thing because they know that if he lost this, then that means that it would have been more open for him to get took out. Every president got something that they gotta push forward while they're in president, and if they don't get it through, then they have the right to be took out. Technically, he's the one that's supposed to inherit to come to curse anyway. That's supposed to fall on Bush. So technically, yeah. So technically, because Bush wasn't elected and he was, he will take the karma that Bush is supposed to get. But technically, this is really the third term of the Bush administration because again, this is this nigga's what do you call it? This is this nigga's cousin. So, because he was elected, it's a little different, but really now he can get the karma that Bush was able to get through because Bush wasn't elected. Then to further protect Bush in that situation, they created a movie called The Death of a President, which was a fictitious or ritualistic shooting of George Bush Jr. in the movie. So that way they already killed him symbolically, so now they don't have to kill him in real life. Same way Jay-Z shot himself at the end of 99 Problems. You know what I'm saying? So now that he don't have to get clapped in real life. Although he is under indictment, just like Nas, just like the other niggas, for this whole Barclays sex thing, water thing in Africa. Maybe can't hide, man. This thing is spiraling out of control. Not only that, it's getting worse. Another thing, I did the knowledge about that quake in Cuba, is that even when it hit, it only knocked down like one, two buildings. But that quake also hit Haiti again, another so-called aftershock. However, none of that, But they ain't talking about Chile right now. They ain't talking about Venezuela right now. They ain't talking about the other 747 that is missing since last week in the South Atlantic Ocean, which brings us back to the South Atlantic anomaly thing we was talking about last week too. So it's getting worse.
Yeah. See, they actually, for all those listening that's in the New York area, along, building on that whole healthcare bill, and all the other intricacies they have, put in there, they're about to ban salt in New York City.
About to ban what?
They're about to ban salt.
Salt? Like table salt?
Yeah, like cooking salt. They're about to ban it.
Like sodium? How are you going to ban sodium? Why? Well, what they found in sodium?
I don't. Well, I mean, it's just like when they was doing the whole trans fat thing, like in all that. Since the government cares so much about people's health, they want to ban. Salt.
There ain't no trans fat in salt.
You know
what I mean? Salt is a preservative, but then again, salt is for people who cook and eat their food properly. You have to realize, Europe, y'all only been using salt for the past 250 years. Y'all wasn't using that shit. Really, that might be generous. Y'all only really been using salt for the past 200 years, man. And the way that you can show and prove that is when you go do the due diligence by researching the bubonic plague, you'll find out that the cause of that was because the peasantry, wink wink, a.k.a. the Caucasoid populace, were not cooking and preserving their food properly.
Yep.
And so the rats were coming in and eating everything, and then they would eat the rats who were eating the food. But then again, this is at the same time, allegedly, that they were able to set up an empire in Europe where they could create a global slave trade. You know. But that's a whole nother myth that we've already kind of covered before.
Yeah.
You know. Something else interesting in the news. I was going through. We do music. I like to rap. I like to rhyme. We do hip hop. But occasionally I like to listen to rappers and see what rappers are doing, Because for those people that don't know, a MC or a person that does hip-hop is somebody that's doing an ancestral type of music, whereas a rapper is a corporate-sponsored thug.
Yep.
Okay? So I was looking at this rapper, I think they call him Lil Wayne, and he was on, well, not him, but I was looking on the internet, and I was looking at one of the songs that he's got on one of these mixtapes that he's got. And the song is called Sacrifice. And on the song, it's him, this guy Mac Main, right? The girl Chanel, who they always keep in panties. They don't even give this girl pants. And another guy named Gutta Gutta, right? On this record, they got a joint called, thank you, they got a joint, Sacrifice, where they're talking about, they got a joint where they're talking about literally sacrificing people, where they're talking about burning bodies in a bonfire. He's talking about cannibalism, eating people after they kill them. The verse in the song where they talk about having sex with the dead body. Then they got another verse in the song where they're talking about ripping the flesh off of people. And again, this is Lil Wayne, Gutta Gutta, Mac Main, and Chanel. Then the song, the chorus, she sound like the Omen. You know the music from the Omen?
Mm-hmm.
Take me on, that's it. Sound like that. It's crazy. Then on the cover of this mixtape, this fool is got blood dripping from his mouth and shit. Like, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but on the cover of these mixtapes, all of these rappers look like killers.
Yeah.
Like Jason and Freddie and Michael, very demonic, very thing like that. Because those images are how those rappers, it's not like they even, I don't even think a lot of them want to be depicted that way. I just think that that's the demon aspect of the depiction. It wants to be depicted that way.
Yeah.
And the more this happens, the uglier these guys come. The more tattoos they have to cover their whole bodies, the more they have to look even that much more demonic, because you'll see with Lil Wayne, pretty soon he's going to have tattoos all over his face. Just like Baby. He got like mad Baphomet stars on his head now. You know what I'm saying?
Oil rigs and shit.
Because all of that is porcelain doll programming. All of that is MK Ultra stuff. All of that is altar implantation. And all of that is them losing more of their persona and the demon coming more to the surface. So the closer the demon comes to the surface, the more successful these guys get. But at the same time, the more demonic the imagery in them and around them becomes, to the point where they can't bear to look at themselves in the mirror. So what they start doing is they start putting different artificial things on them, such as tattoos and things like that, specifically around the facial area. Because there's nothing to see. They don't really have no means of expression, because the demon is expressed through the art. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which is why their music is so demonic. You know.
So, for instance, Zodiac Productions was the original name of the original music company that we now call Sony, right? Sony runs RCA. RCA runs Motown. Motown runs Columbia. Columbia runs what used to be called the WIA system, the Rush-associated labels, and all of that. But all of these companies, then when you get further up, Sony is owned by Seagram's. Sony is owned by Brenner Entertainment. Brenner Entertainment is then owned by Seagram's. And then Seagram's, when you get further up, is a direct main line into Barclays of London, Lloyd's Bank of London, old what they call slave money. You know what I mean? But this slave money we're talking about is not necessarily them getting money over slavery or from slavery. This is them, the old slaves, coming into positions of power, and then once they reach that position of power, they then were able to then ascend and become so-called masters over us. So this is all the same people doing the same thing. So these entities that we keep talking about that is manifesting through all of these people are basically the same entity that you've been dealing with from before 1492. You know? So since we talk about hierarchy then, you know, you have the entities, those people that come to the lecture on May 1st, May 2nd, I'm going to show you exactly where these entities in New York, May 1st and May 2nd, we're going to show exactly in the lecture there, Dark Plasma Synthesis, beginning and end, we're going to show exactly who and what these entities are, you know, and where they come from, and their connection to the governmental power structure, you know. But we made allusions to that on other tapes that we've already put out. Anybody can go to aseer.com, get any one of those tapes and you'll see. But we're going to have more of a definitive outlook of who and what these things are. Coincidentally then, since we were talking about the Lil Wayne thing and the sacrifice thing, we should also tie that into this whole Gaga Beyonce thing. This video, did you see that shit?
Yeah. To see it yet. It seems like they're not putting it on TV yet. But yeah, I heard it. It's like 12 minutes long, something like that. It's like a mini movie.
Oh yeah, this is like Thriller. This is like a more demonic Thriller. Actually, this is like Thriller on crack in the sense that in Thriller, you know, it was black people coming back to life through breakdancing and shit. In this shit, this is all about feminazis mass murdering heterosexual people. Because in the end of the video, Beyonce and Gaga kill everybody that's in the diner, starting with the original black man who's played by Tyrese Gibson.
Really?
Yeah, Beyonce poisons him. And he dies at the table. And then when you look at all the people who get killed in the diner, they're all what you call it, men and women. But all women who are participating in the killing, they're all girls in the sense of they're all women. And it starts with her in a female prison.
Gaga.
Yeah, going to prison, and she has a scene where she thrusts her vagina in the screen allegedly, but it's not her. They did a cut and paste. They did that because there's a thing on YouTube right now where they're showing her tucking her penis back. Or should I call it it? Maybe we should call her it. We'll call them it. Because they're trying to do away with gender altogether. See, people, the purpose is they're trying to incarnate souls that don't come through women naturally. The idea is to impede the birth or get the woman to have a baby to a point where they can actually assist and take the baby from the woman. And in the process, do what they need to do. Those people, 5%, this would be known as sticking the pins in the baby's head and then handing them to the nurse and the wild beast, which is the cremator. The cremator in this instance would be society. The nurses in this would be Beyonce and Gaga. The doctor in this case would be Joseph Ackerlin, a known member of the Church of Satan, the director of all of her videos, of all of its videos, and the ex-lover of Jimmy Iovine, who runs Interscope Records, who Gaga is on the label of, through Akon. Yep. Because you always need a black portal. They always got to have a black portal to put the image through to make it work materially. So in that, Akon becomes that. you know, because he's a Khan.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like he spelled it Khan, like King. He spelled it like Khan artist, or convict.
Which is what he runs with. He says that in almost all his songs. He got a clothes. He got like a fragrance or something like that coming out called like Convict. For men.
Speaking of fragrance, there's a fragrance coming out called Vulva, which spells like the woman's vagina. And the picture of it, the commercial for it, shows a guy and a woman in a gym, right? And the woman is on a bike, right? And she's sweating on the seat. The woman gets finished her workout, leaves the thing. The white guy, goes down and starts sniffing the seat in the commercial. Then it pans to him leaving the gym and all of that. And then it's him on the bus, and then he opens his bag, and he's got the seat in his bag, and he goes down and smells it again.
Really?
Yeah. Perfume is called Vulva, and it means technically. So then by that commercial, I would assume that the fragrance smells like a white woman's sweaty vagina.
A white woman's sweat box.
Right. Now the fragrance thing, perfumes and stuff like that goes all the way back to pre-dynastic Kemet. Because there was a time when a lot of the old ones, when they would leave, the rooms that they would pass in, they would seal. And after, let's say, 10 to 20 years after the soul left, they would go back in the tomb and they would have these things that we would today call sponges, kind of. And it would suck up the ethereal smell that was left over from the tomb. And then that smell would be put into a flask. They would take the sponges, dip them in oils, and then put that into a flask. And then the next pharaoh or the next Heru would then use that to anoint himself. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was carried up into Europe after the Crusades by the Franciscan Moors, who were then using it in the form, by that time it had been downgraded into compressing flowers and things like that into oils and things like that. And then they did that up there. But then what happened was, around the time of the Renaissance period, you had a guy named the Marquis de Sade, who was a Luciferian sorcerer. And as a sorcerer, what he would do is he would kill the people in the rituals and stuff, and then turn the people's actual bodies, compress it into a form of perfume, and then walk around and put that on to attract other victims. You see what I'm saying? So again, we see how it started with one intent and then got bastardized into the satanic thing that they're doing now. But aside from that, there's a movie actually about what I'm talking about called Perfume, about this chick who was abducting women. A woman was abducting women and bathing in their blood and all that type of stuff. So again, these are the ancestors of the people that you see every day. This is Sandra Bullock and all of these other people's ancestors who just caught the Oscar curse, in which as soon as you get the Oscar, a man gets found out from having sex with this Nazi chick.
Mm-hmm.
I say Nazi chick because he got a white power tattoo on her arm.
Mm-hmm.
But coincidentally, the ritual then is the mocking, because the movie Sandra Bullock 1 was about some Illuminati chick who is helping some black man. You know? But that's the blind. She got blindsided. You know what I'm saying? She got blindsided the night she won for blindside.
Mm-hmm. Now that's all over the news, and people is coming out giving apologies and all that, you know. A man or whatever, he's coming out apologizing for cheating on her or speculation that he did or whatever. And then he's another, you know, I could see him with a chick like that, because, like, that's the kind of aura that he gives off, because he's one of those, you know, Southern California, you know what I'm saying, motorcycle,
Malibu type
thing. Yeah,
not
you know what I mean? 1%, you know what I mean? I ride around with hammers in my back pocket looking to beat on niggas type motherfucker.
People got to realize that the people, no matter how pleasant these people look, man, you got to look at the family tree. You can't just you can't look at the apple and think that because this apple is good, all the apples on the tree is good. You got to investigate if you're trying to get a bunch. And you got to understand that these people are born through a process of ritualistic traumatic birth and demonic implantation. That is a consistent aspect of Western society that is in your face every day under the guise of the people killing their families, people molesting children, teachers killing children, children running up in colleges, postal workers killing, all of that stuff. People wasn't doing that shit in the 1700s, man. People wasn't doing that shit in the fucking 1950s. You know what I'm saying? When they first brought the Operation Paperclip generations over here, them niggas couldn't just start doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Right away. They had to integrate them slowly into the society and make it a part of the actual curriculum of everyday life that we're all bred on, man. This ain't no overnight thing. But it's a consistent thing based upon the fact that this is the only way that they can maintain, because this is all they have. This is the only reality that these low vibrational entities can wreak this much havoc in. So, you know, the all of this stuff with like Beyonce and all of these black people, Obama, all of these people endorsing Gaga, what they're doing is they're endorsing an agenda, an openly satanic, possessed agenda that is a consistent part of a reality that no longer functions. You know what I'm saying? So these niggas are trying to, it's like you trying to, like, get your car working by putting, you know, water in it for gas. That shit is not going to fly. It's not going to work. And she, again, all of these people are supporting that. They're supporting her. But are they supporting trying to find out who's killing all of these black women in the South right now? This is the serial killer that's been killing black women since this time last year. I don't ever hear that on the news.
No.
You know?
All these black women just coming up missing.
Yeah. What's up with that? And black women ain't even talking about that. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, what's up with that?
Over here they talking about, you know, integrating and dating outside of their race. Black men ain't shit. You know.
You tell a Jew that they should marry somebody that's not Jewish and see what they tell you.
Check this. The homie Leonardo DiCaprio wanted to marry that Jewish chick that he's been dating for a couple of years now, and they put that in the papers. The Jews put it out in the papers. It was in the New York Times. It was in a few of the Jewish papers. The Jew, one of the head Reebies, or whatever you want to call them, over there in Israel, he said he forbids her and her family as well. They said they forbid her from marrying him because he's a damn spaghetti bending, you know what I'm saying, Italian, and he would tarnish their bloodline.
See?
You know what I'm saying? He's a Guinea, and he'll tarnish their bloodline. He'll tarnish their beautiful Jewish bloodline. They forbade her from doing it. So, if we said that, you know what I'm saying?
Look at that. It would be some old big shit.
Yeah.
Because in the so-called Towns of 10th, our so-called black luminaries, all of these niggas is Jews on the low, and they'd rather big that up than they own shit. And that's cool if that's what you want to do, but don't act like you're trying to help me. That's my issue with these niggas. If you want to be Jew and you want to do anti-Semitism commercials with Russell Simmons and whoever, do that. But don't do it from the perspective of me trying to act like I'm doing something wrong by just wanting to maintain my own people. Like, we don't have our own shit together. So how you going to go pay this dude's light bill and your light bill ain't paid?
Mm-hmm.
You know? But again, that's the Boule working with the B'nai B'rith, which really is the CIA working with the Mossad. You know what I'm saying? Overseen by the National Security Agency and protocols implemented by the Department of Defense. you know. So this is some old shit, man. This is some shit that's a consistent part of this reality that for some reason we as original people can't get it through our heads. That this place is killing us.
Mm-hmm. Negative birth rate.
This wasn't dying of cancer in 985 BC, man.
They don't have ADHD back then. They have OCD back then.
You know what I'm saying? Lactose intolerant.
Back then, no.
You know what I'm saying? And Kemet, man. Even in Ptolemaic Egypt, which a lot of so-called black, a lot of so-called black scholars and African scholars, when they talk about the Ptolemaic period, they talking about it from the perspective of, these is white Greeks, these is white people. They was destroying Egypt and all that shit, but they doing that for a reason. They're not talking to you about what the Ptolemy thing was really about and its connection to the Moors over here. You know, specifically the Empress Berenice, as well as the connection to the Library of Alexandria in terms of the Cleopatra bloodline, and the Septuagint, which is the original Bible that William Penn and them niggas damn near had to cut an arm off to even look at, you know, back in the 1600s. So all of these things are still related because we are still the descendants of all these people. But again, we want to be everything else, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just busted, like 3,600 people came out in Rome alone to the Vatican talking about they've been molested and abused by priests and shit from the Vatican. 3,600 people, yo. And the Pope like, well, maybe there is something wrong with it. But he ain't kicking niggas out because all they do, because people don't understand, the Vatican, all that's a whole nother jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother thing, you know?
Well, fine.
Pedestry is a part of the Catholic Church. That's a part of the religion. You know what I'm saying? Now, what's worse, us saying that shit or them doing it? They doing it. They're the ones having sex with the altar boys and all of that. There's some shit on the World Star right now about some old dirty-ass Catholic priest having sex with some young altar boy.
Yeah, but it's recorded on tape.
Yeah, son, it's on tape. Like, this nigga worked directly for the Vatican. He's the emissary. He's not even from Brazil. He's a nigga from the Vatican sent to Brazil. So, what, the Pope ain't doing that? See what I'm saying? But again, this is not me or us, Super Heru Radio, coming out and saying Catholic people are fucked up. I'm saying that, yo, the niggas that's running your shit is fucked up.
Yeah, you're on some bullshit.
So if y'all really want to be real Catholics, y'all need to start focusing on the Black Madonna and all the real Orthodox shit that the Greek and the Latvian niggas is dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is worshiping the black woman except our own self. To the point, Geronimo's relatives this week filed a suit against the people's the President of the United States. Put him in the suit with the whole skull and bone shit, trying to get back Geronimo's skull. He in the suit too because he down with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he took that office. The day before he became president is when they gave him the actual CIA briefing. They gave him little shit before that, but that was the fake shit to make him think that there was one thing going on. And then when he actually got the actual debriefing, he, you know, that's why he looked so shaky when you look at the tapes of that. And that's when he found out the real agenda and everything. You know, he always had hints of it. But now the fact that he's actually in direct service of this shit, you know, he's in. He's got to do what he's got to do. It's been 7 years, the 7th anniversary, March 19th, of Iraq War. It's been 7 years niggas was in that shit. And what's happened? There's been a whole bunch of movies about it. Hurt Locker 1. And in that movie, the white man is riding the black man like a horse. Like he's got his penis all in Anthony Mackie's face, riding him like a horse, yo. This is the type of shit that these niggas okay, this is what they do. But then if I see this nigga in real life and I say, yo, man, why you let the white man put his dick in your face? Then he gonna get mad at me. You know what I'm saying? That he gonna want to fight me.
You know, ask me about why I let my master do that to me. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna get mad at me.
Apparently, did you hear about this dude in the Department of Defense that's now getting gripped up because he had private militias. He was hiring private militias to go over in Afghanistan and Pakistan and Iraq and basically going, you know what I'm saying, seek and kill missions over there. But they wasn't, you know what I'm saying, under the guise of the military, but, you know, kind of like a, I guess you'd say like a Blackwater. Yeah, exactly, a death squad, really and truly. But, you know, a death squad physically hired by the United States government to actually commit these type of atrocities.
Mercenaries.
Exactly. You know, and now they're trying to
that Blackwater shit.
And they changed their name. They're not Blackwater anymore. I can't remember what they're calling now, but they flipping it up. You know what I mean? They're trying to get away.
See?
You know, but this dude, Michael Furlong, now they trying to bring him up on some war crimes. You know, I don't know what that's going on. You know what I mean? They still try. You know what I'm saying? Every time we turn around, they trying to bring people up on war crimes, but you'll never see nothing happen. They're supposed to be bringing up the Israeli military on war crimes from Pakistan, but, you know, where's that going to go? But, you know what I'm saying, apparently some independent journalists actually figured this whole thing out and then exposed it, you know what I'm saying, people stationed over there in Afghanistan and Iraq and Pakistan as well, you know, and brought this to light. So now, like, the people, they trying to make a move on him and I guess arrest him or something like that. Like, that's not doing anything.
Yeah, man. This is what I'm saying. It's the same, because it's the same people, man. The same people who pulled Katrina, the same people who pulled 9/11, the same people who pulled the Cuban Missile Crisis. The same people. Because nobody ever brought them to task. Because everybody's down with it. That's the other thing everybody don't want to admit. I am not foolish enough to admit, or I am not naive enough to think that most of the people that I see are not down with this shit. You gotta be if you want a TV like that. You gotta be. They can't have nothing for chance for this shit. That's why the people who are down with them are the ones who get caught up. And when they want to break away, that's when they get took out. If you never join up with them, son, then you're not involved in that. I never voted for this nigga, so whatever he decided to do, that's not on me. But what do the ignorant people do? The ignorant people craft an argument to say, well, to hide their own insignificance, they say, well, if you don't vote, then you can't complain because you didn't participate. But the act of political process is anything that I do is a political statement.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Any basic pre-law nigga could tell you that. You know what I mean? Any journalist and major will tell you that. So that means that me not participating in the actual voting process means that I am not participating in that because I view it politically as futile.
Exactly.
Therefore, I've exercised my political view by not participating in it at all. Yet, because these niggas, it's all up under this Hegelian dialectic and Malthusian consciousness shit, they want to be on some like, oh, well, you know, that means that you don't really care. It always becomes another problem. It's always on to the next one.
Yeah. You know, by doing that and getting into things like voting, you are giving up, you know what I'm saying, your inalienable right to somebody else. To say, I want somebody else to represent me, you've given up your self-control and your self-divinity to someone else. So yet, all those people, you know, who actually go through that whole process, they should actually be the ones who are screaming even louder because they have no control. They've given up their control to those people that they voted for. Yet they say, oh, the people that didn't vote, oh, no, you have a problem because you didn't vote and you should be quiet. No, because I didn't vote, I should actually have the right to speak up because what I'm saying is I wasn't fucking with this motherfucker before and I ain't fucking with him now because I knew he was a piece of shit in the first place. That's why I ain't even fucking with him. That's why I ain't vote.
Right. I'm the only one with the objective enough opinion to go to you and say, okay, you messed up because of this. You messed up because of this. So because both of y'all messed up, y'all need to give whatever y'all got to me because I'm the only one who is trustworthy in the situation because I wasn't a part of the situation to begin with. Mm-hmm. Therefore, I become an impartial party, i.e. a third party, but because of my ancestral connection, I have what would be considered in legal terms or financial terms beneficial ownership of the outcome of the situation. So if they was to take the whole shit and the Palestinians was to get Israel today, the Palestinians would still have to give that over to us. You know what I'm saying? Like the Dalai Lama, like that nigga said it, he's a Nazi, man. Dude of knowledge, man. Like what's the deal? All y'all Buddhists, all y'all people following this dude, and y'all will have pictures of him in your house. What you have is an effigy or image of something that is being used as a portal into your everyday life and becomes a viewing mechanism for it to interface with you and you to give more energy to it. Mm-hmm. So while you are toiling away at your job every day saying prayers to him so that way he can say prayers for the Most High, this nigga is sitting down after ritual with George Bush and Bono and everybody else getting off on the same BS. Mm-hmm. It's always the same thing. And this actual documentation, man. Like that Dalai Lama, the real one, they shot him early to implant this nigga. Once the British got in there and realized that they had killed the actual real black little kid, Dalai Lama, they said, great, this is our chance. What we'll do, we'll dress this little kid up as a Dalai Lama, and because we already got the screws in him, when he grows up, he'll come back to us, and then we'll turn him into our Messiah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The same way they tried to do with the Theosophic Society tried to do back in the 30s and 20s with this dude named Krishnamurti. Yeah. Where they paid for him to go to school and all of that, and tried to turn him into their Messiah. And then the next thing you know, they said, okay, get ready. It's okay, now lead us. And he said, no, I'm going to go back to the jungle. And created his own shit. Was like, yo, y'all niggas is bullshit. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. Yeah. You know, well, how many people willing to do that? Yeah. Nah. Nobody I know. I mean, present company excluded. But, you know, I know people, but in the end, we all going to be brought up to that. We all going to be brought to the point where we're going to be faced with what we can do and what we can't. Then it becomes about what we're going to do in that moment. And nobody can really judge anybody. And I don't want it to be seen that we use this as a form to judge the people we talk about. They already know the judgment is on. Mm-hmm. That's why all the songs they make is about them selling their souls now. If you notice, all of the songs on the radio right now is about selling your soul and shit. And it's becoming more obvious because the barriers have been broken down so much. You got Illuminati Hove. You got Bud Diamond Russie. You know. Et cetera, et cetera. They got Illuminati Weezy. That's what they call that nigga name. Illuminati Weezy. That's funny, too, because you can get into real quick. Hey, people who study things like demonology, you know, the layman purpose of that, people who go to school, anybody who's going to school to learn about demonology, if you're not going to some school that's in the basement or some catacomb somewhere, you know what I'm saying? You're not really learning about this shit. The only way you really learn about that stuff is by actively researching it yourself or being brought into it by someone who is trying to get you to sell your soul so that way they can have more power. So there's a difference between selling your soul and making a deal. You know what I mean? Like, if you selling your soul to the entity or the demon is you saying some shit like out loud, like, well, I don't want to say it, but saying some shit to the effect of, I'll do this if I only had this, I would give everything if I had this, or I would give everything I had that. Something then happens where that is carried to a certain channel based on the frequency of that type of wish or command, because there's a certain degree of desperation in that. And these low vibrational things feast on that type of frequency. So something happens where you're presented with something where you can sign on, and then you wind up getting it. And then when you do that, that's you basically selling your soul. You see? And then there's ways where it can be done before you even got here through your parents. They sell you out. They promise X amount of generations, like with Matthew Note, them type of niggas. They'll like all of these kids that you see, these ones that be on like 16 and pregnant, and all of these like One's House, all of those type of generation kids. All of these kids are going to be the ones that they have heavy direct programming in them. So the type of entities that can be born through them are more advantageous now, because they're born in with the hip-hop thing in them. Whereas the initial Caucus or generation rebelled against it, So that's you selling your soul. Making a deal is you agreeing to be a part of something to get something. So in that realm, you are now almost playing the devil. So it's like the devil making a deal with itself. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So there's a special type of damnation for that. That's the difference between, let's say, a Puffy and a Jay-Z. Like a Jay-Z sold his soul, whereas Puffy made a deal. Puffy sold his soul, whereas Jay-Z made a deal. You see what I'm saying? So there's a certain degree of just don't bring them out. So there's that case in point. The Jackson family just re-signed a deal with Sony Records. You see what I'm saying? Like this is what's going on. This is the type of shit that, yeah. And now Jen about to come out with a new record.
When she's talking about she's into freaking homosexuality and and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That's a new thing. She likes dating she-males, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, she's got she's down with the LGBTM, whatever the hell they call it.
Yeah, all that shit.
Yeah, people don't understand. This whole gay thing is mixed in with the people don't see that the homosexual or gay thing is interlocked with the environment saving thing, and all of that is intertwined in the Obama thing. You see what I'm saying? It's all the same entity as the Hydra, manifesting through different things and appearingly different agendas that will support each other to get to the main goal. The main goal is to have everybody chipped up, everybody depopulation, everybody, brain dead, everybody turned into these low forms while they go into a post-human state. They want everybody to go into a deformed human state, which is really what is naturally happening to them. They are actually degenerating. We are actually evolving, which is why a lot of us are evolving into them instead of evolving into different aspects of ourselves, which is why they're pushing so hard for black women to be a part of it. Because the more she okays it, despite us and her children, the more into insanity she falls, and the more she allows herself to become a greater black hole, which is symbolic to the black hole in the center of 26 degrees Sagittarius, which is why, again, the Sagittarius has to be at the head of the whole hip-hop thing, Jay-Z, you see what I'm saying, as the apex point for them to be able to tap into that, because of the fact that he is manifesting a entity from a certain realm. There's Young B, there's Hove, there's Lil. Lil is short for Lilith, right? There's I Am. You hear them say I Am a lot. There's Ho. You know what I'm saying? There's Yo. These are all entities now. You see what I'm saying? That these rappers or these niggas is using and allowing their lyrics to then be fused with these entities that they put into them in the temple room. in the midst of these different record labels that are all run by the same people. So it's a consistent cycle that is now got to the point where there's no real energy to feed it anymore. So now it's feeding on itself, and it's turned cannibal. So it can't exist anymore. So it's using those of us with some type of soul or spirit to annex itself to and dump its karma on us while it goes somewhere else. You know? Like they know now they can't hide anything. We making too much noise with these DVDs. We making too much noise with these books. We making too much noise with this, what we talking about all the time. You know, those of us that's actively doing it, those of us that's listening, those of us that's wanting to listen but is put off from this type of talk, those of us that's consumed with the everyday aspects of the very shit we talking about, but are listening on the low, but know if they can't really do nothing. Well, you can do something. Go to somebody you know that's really doing shit and donate some money anonymously. You know what I mean? You can do that. White folks do that all the time. That's what it's called, philanthropy. The fuck you think these niggas is doing, man? They trying to find some way to save the little soul they got. They know they can't do nothing. There's a whole Caucasian society that a lot of Caucasian people don't even know about, called the Brotherhood of Eleusius. And these niggas follow behind what Randolph was trying to do. And these was white men that's trying to marry black women and produce mulatto-type kids with the minds of black militant black men. So in order for them to do that, they wind up having a baby with the woman, but then they, as men who want to be fathers, they can't be with their kids because they don't want their kids to follow behind them as white men. So they just give them money, but they won't be with the child because they want the child to be against them. This is the only way that they can fight back within the power structure that they have allowed themselves to be suckled from. Yep. This is the level of the game. Niggas ain't really them. These niggas don't really want to be free. The only way these white folks can really be free is to fucking put a bullet in their head. And if you watch these movies like Bug or so many of these movies, man, all of these ritual killings where these niggas go kill everybody and they shoot themselves in the head. Why do you think they doing that? This ain't no random shit. These niggas just don't watch movies and then decide, oh, one day I'm sure they just do this. No, this is a generational thing that's passed down through the blood of these people.
Yeah, with Corey died.
Corey Haim, look at that. They just sacrificed him. We grew up with him. That's like them killing him is like them killing us. He's a white boy. But guess what? He taught me more about societal intrigue, right? Or the interworkings of how people get down and how they talk about each other's shit. He taught me more about that shit than my own parents. Just by me watching the fake society that he was living in. Because in the society that I'm living in, the parents here, they don't talk to their kid about the grinding shit they used to do before the children got here. When really it should be the opposite. Like don't try to hide certain shit about yourself from your child, because what happens is it turns the child against you automatically, because instinctively the child knows you holding shit from him. I knew. You know what I'm saying? And again, my parents did the best they could. But again, they were shackled with shit, bloodline, ancestrally, that went on that their parents wasn't telling them about neither. You know? There's this whole undercurrent, man, of like, to the point we are affecting consciousness so much that I was looking at the Bossip the other day. These niggas wrote that they said, we didn't think Rihanna, the caption was, we thought the rumors of Rihanna being an Illuminati sex slave were false, but, and then these niggas went into a whole spiel about what really went down with the whole Chris Brown Rihanna thing. In a nutshell, it was a ritual so that way these niggas can bring about this whole new domestic violence and turn it against women, because women are the new psychopaths of the American society, white women are the endangered species, whereas black women are the new police. You know what I'm saying? So, the long story short is, due to knowledge. When the shit went down, how come you never seen pictures of Chris Brown face? You only seen Rihanna, right? Then, second of all, these two people are children. These niggas was only like 19 or whatever. But because they had sold their souls, if you read interviews with Rihanna, she talks about how she was witness to exorcism when she was a child, and how her father was possessed by demons when he used to do drugs around her and shit. She was bred for this. You understand? So I'm not blaming her as a person. She don't have her own mind. These people don't have their own minds. No, she's all black. And Beyonce too. When I talk about these people, I'm using them as examples of a mind state that has occupied the mind state of all women right now. Whereas you can't be a woman on TV without showing your ass or your breast or your vagina. You can't be a woman on TV without willing to have sex or suck dick on a dime or some shit. You can't be seen as a regular woman to do that. It's so hyper. Women are now so hypersexual. It's turned men gay. There are men who are gay because they're scared of really being with a woman. Because the women are not so hypersexual that they don't even think that they could be men with them. You understand what's going on? Like, this thing is totally out of control, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit is out of control. There's a movie out called The Crazies. I'm going to mail it to you, man. And it's all about what we talking about. People don't realize every movie that has come out, man, is like another tool that you could put in your movie survival kit. If you ever had to leave where you was at because of some crazy war shit, and you had to have examples of what the old society was like, if you get 2012, The Road, Book of Eli, Avatar, if you get all of these movies, you could then show the new people what and why the white man was the devil. How the black man was helping him be that. How the black man helping him be that. Like, I ain't, and I don't hate nobody. I can't hate the devil for being what it is. You gotta let it be what it is. Just don't be like that with me. You got enough niggas you could beat on, enough people you could sacrifice and eat and all the other shit you do to them. You know what I'm saying? Enough people as many lives and careers as Pete Diddy has destroyed. As many people as he has destroyed. You know how many people would give their left testicle right now to get a record deal from him?
Yeah. And
who are listening to us? Who's conscious?
That's the sad part. That's the real sad part. They got dudes writing books, dancing with the devil, talking about all these different types of things. And there's people out there that have knowledge itself, even those that don't, but, you know what I'm saying, in both categories, that would still go and fuck with that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Still go and deal with people like Clive Davis, people like Puff Daddy, people like Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll still go and deal with them knowing these types of things. You know, which is even worse because now you don't got ignorance. You get clapped on. That's an even greater sacrifice. You know? Hello? Can the people hear me?
what's up? Can you hear me? I hope everybody can hear me, because I'm here. What's up, what's up? This is Aseer, the Duke of Tears. You see a facade is still in. It's crazy. Well, if it is, if I'm still on the side, make sure you call me so I can let you back in. But this is how they do, man. I really hope I'm still on, though. But if I am, matter of fact, let me check the chat. They'll let me know. But I hope everybody's doing the knowledge to how this thing works, man. When you're really doing the work, man, these are the type of things that will happen. You know what I'm saying? Okay, great. I'm going to go back on and see if Assad came back in. Oh, but this is how they do. Yeah, can you hear me, homie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, son. So you, everybody that's tuning in and has tuned in, I'm glad that we all bear witness to the fact that these niggas be really hating. And when you listen to, when you mess with, I said the Duke of Tears, Saga Ali, you know you doing some real shit, man. And I'm not even, people who know me know I'm not an egotistical person, but we really doing the work, man. Like, I'm really doing this work, and it's not about all the time being in the midst of things. It's not always about all the time being in front of people doing things. Like, the individual things that we all do add up collectively to the intent of what we're doing. Mm-hmm. And the enemy is always aware of that. And to the point that the enemy has almost now created a little niche now where people that's into what we into is now going to be the elite of everything that's going on. Because we the only ones that know what's going down. Anybody that's getting into consciousness now is coming into the point where you got to make sure you get around information and people that's really about some shit. Don't just follow a dude because what he's saying or she's saying sound good. Find out for yourself and then support that man or woman in what they're doing. But don't blindly support. You know what I mean? Support like you can in the moment, man. Because that's really all anybody can do. You know? Because when the time has come, we all going to be shown where to go. We all going to be shown what to do. So right now, while we have the ability to walk around and just kind of be in the midst of this thing, we are in the in-between stage. We are what's called in magic the part of the way. You know what I mean? We are the great. We are what's called the great extraordinary, you know, the great aspect of creation that exists spontaneously but consistently throughout everything. Therefore, we always got to be behind everything that these entities and these things want to do. So, because they can't do anything, my son just woke up. They can't do anything consistently that allows them to maintain themselves eternally. So they got to keep getting us to kill ourselves and keep getting us to ally ourselves with shit that don't exist. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, you know, when they cut off our show and shit like that, like, we paying for this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we paying for it. And these niggas are still like, whatever. You know? So, again, this ain't happening to other people's stuff, though. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, brother, hold on. I don't think they can hear us. Can the people hear us?
I hope so. Check the chat room. In the chat room, they'll let you know. When I looked on
people in the chat room hear us? Okay.
Yeah, we still in.
Okay.
We still in that time. You see, this is what I mean, man. Like these ballers, man, they create a false impression that, you know, if you don't speak out against certain things, then you're not really representing, and that's a thug mentality. And a thug mentality is good, you know, if you into thuggy Kali type shit. But if you just you know, regular, you know, thug from, you know, 1994 Tupac era, you missing the game.
Mhm.
That prototype was the farthest that prototype could go. When he died, it died. That's why everybody could do it. That's why everybody was a thug. Everybody was thugging out there.
Yeah, everybody had tattoos around the belly and all that.
Yeah, he started.
And he spoke out about that himself.
Yeah, that's why I wrote Tupac's Revenge, because I wanted to write from the perspective of what happened since this nigga just allowed himself to be sacrificed and eaten by his dad. To be some type of Christ and some type of whirlwind judgment that comes back at the end of time. Like, this is the type of nonsense that niggas feed themselves to be able to be a part of this bullshit. And this is what I mean. Like, there's a certain spiritual poetry in that, yet he was nowhere near that in active pursuit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, in an active way. He wasn't doing that to bring that into his life. He was doing the opposite. You see? So him and Biggie now become the blueprint of what hip-hop is, the ceiling. So the very best that you can be in hip-hop is a dead MC that lives immortally through music. And that's what all these rappers is trying to be.
Yeah.
I know people who really sold drugs. I know people who really sold a lot of cocaine and things like that in life when I was growing up as a shorty. And I came up, like we got to join on a new album called The Reaganomic Rapper. I'm a Reaganomic rapper. I'm a nigga that came up when crack didn't exist, then existed. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
As well as heroin and other little fake shit that they came out with to try to act like who's going to catch you on shit like ice, shit like tar, horse, that type of shit. Or Love Boat, Love Boat, Lead Dust, Devil Dust, that type shit. PCP, all that fake Wooler Blunt type stuff. So the drug era for people like me in that era, it was more as a means of upward mobility that certain people weren't strong enough to maintain and got sucked up in this shit. But the utmost, the highest level in that, you know, was people like Pappy Mason, people like Supreme, people like 50 Cent, people like, you know, the niggas that you be seeing on American Gangster. You know what I mean? Niggas that be walking. Yeah. Narrated by Ving Rhames, you know, the gay Boule Mason nigga. So,
and
those
created by Vlad.
Yeah. The Stacey Adams Superman niggas. Those type dudes, man, they were the archetype who came from the Jim Brown, Roundtree, Shaft, you know, Superfly, Ron O'Neal type era. You see? And because black males, when we have images that make us look strong, that we can identify with, we throw all of ourselves into that, no matter how ignorant or stupid it may be. But the fact that we can exhibit manhood in that and not be perceived as weak, we embrace that shit. So because hip-hop was something that we created for ourselves, when I came from the era when police was cutting up people's cardboards, ripping up, burning niggas' linoleum to break dance them. Literally burn it, throw gas on it, shit, burn it in front of niggas. Like lock niggas up, break niggas' arms so they couldn't do windmills and shit. Spray paint in niggas' faces because they was spray painting on the wall and shit like that. But now the same cops is able to go to Paris and stuff like this and sell graffiti from people like Phase One and Futura 2000 and these old school bombers and shit. They can go there and sell their work for $100,000, $350,000. When they locked these niggas up and they was doing it, and they was tormenting us and torturing us when we was doing this art. Now these same white people want me to accept niggas like Justin Timberlake and Justin Bieber and these niggas. Fuck these niggas, man.
For real.
Like, for real, man.
Word, for real,
Why
for
is it
real.
if I say that I'm ignorant? Why is it if I say that I'm an ignorant black man or I'm angry black man? Why is that when it's the truth? These niggas is not real. Pharrell gonna tell people that fucking Justin Timberlake was the new Marvin Gaye. Are you crazy, nigga?
Exactly. Niggas need to get slapped. Niggas need to get slapped for that shit, though. Cause,
Yo,
but, you know what I'm saying? There are people that perpetuate that. Like, yeah, he's so right. Justin Timberlake is so cool.
Les Pharrell has said that stupid shit around people like Tragedy. You know what I'm saying? Big ups Tragedy Gaddafi. Let him say some shit like that around him. He'd have slapped the shit out that nigga. Let him say some shit about that around Mano. Mano seemed like the type of nigga to slap a nigga for some stupid shit like that. He slapped Young Burger.
Yeah.
For some
You
dumb
know
shit.
what I'm saying?
I like niggas like that. I like niggas that can do, that's willing to be real men, do shit.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what they trying to sell to the people. They saying that Justin dude, they saying that he gonna be like, they trying to call him the next Michael Jackson.
See? Because they got Chris Brown out the way. They got Chris Brown out the way because they knew they was going to get rid of Michael. So because Chris Brown was the natural inheritor of Michael, they needed to get rid of him. So they hooked him up with the demonically possessed Rihanna, good girl going bad.
Mm-hmm.
Then they triggered the nigga in the car with her that night. How the story go? See, this ain't even the rumor. This how the story go. You know, we as black people got classifications for certain information.
Mm-hmm.
So the story go that in the car he got the text. Now the same thing with Tiger Woods. When he was in the car, he got the text. The text is the shit that sets these niggas off. The text was from a shorty, allegedly. She washed it out on him, beat the shit out of him. He defended himself. He get beat up. And then the cops get involved. And then she's forced to press charges because she wasn't going to press charges at him in the beginning. She pressed charges on him in the beginning or whatever. The police do it. But instead of her, but she still wants to be with him. She still left him because she knows she set it off on him. So what happens is her handlers get to him. He wrote a song on his album called Falling. Listen to that song and you see what's going on. But anyway, he agreed to take the fall as the man. This bitch, winds up going with it. She wound up doing Barbara Walters and giving more energy to the story and shit. Like, you know, shit that didn't happen. Yeah, going in. So allegedly the story goes, you can check this out on the Bossa site. They say that the dude wound up didn't want to be with her after that. But he was still thinking about it. So in the process of that, he wasn't returning her calls. So what this bitch decided to do was she decided to smash the homies and wound up boning Cudi, Kanye, Drake, and T.I. before he went to jail, right before he went to jail. See what I'm saying? In the meantime. So this comes out. Chris Brown is crazy now, but now at the same time, now he got to take the fall for all of this shit. Niggas is boycotting him, they ain't doing nothing, whatever. At the same time, now Justin Bieber's moving up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's moving up. At the same time, now Usher's album gets pushed back because Usher can't be the main shit no more because Justin Bieber's getting positioned for that.
And who put Justin Bieber on?
Usher. See? See? Just like Akon put Gaga on.
Mm-hmm.
Or Akon made a star to Gaga. So the same type of energy, see what I'm saying? So essentially now they all have to now agree to be down with this and allow this white boy to now sell 1 million records in a week on some Lil Wayne shit. At the same time that Lil Wayne is in jail.
Jail, exactly.
This is what it is, man. Things are really screwed up.
Yep. It's happening.
But yeah, in that movie, if you get that movie, The Crazies, it gets into all of that, and you'll see what we're talking about. The Crazies is basically the government is the reason why all of these people is crazy, and how people are targeted, and how communities, the new state of war now against the populace is mass rage-type infections that make you wild out, kill people. So that way they got to come in there and destroy and kill everybody. And start over, then nuke the whole site, and start over. And then follow the survivors to the next site, and then start the cycle all over. You see? So, again, humanitarian aid as a form of warfare. You know what I'm saying? rival race thing. Also, the census thing. The census thing is really about you declaring what type of entity you are to them. So they have Negro and things like that as a ruse to get you in there, because when they first did it, they put Negro there to see if niggas would fill it out, and certain people scratched out other shit just to put Negro. But they didn't talk about, but they didn't talk about the other names that the people used, you see? So the idea is Negro is a viable race description, you see? But what if your father was Lithuanian, your mother's Vietnamese, your father's African American, and this one is Dutch? What are you then? But you're born in Brooklyn, but you live in Bensonhurst. What are you then? You see? So really, what it is you can fill out that. If you are more, or if you want to fill shit like that, if you want to fill it out or whatever, make sure that you sign it, all rights reserved at the end. You declare that you're different from the corporate entity, and when you declare race or nationality, put more or Washita or whatever type of entity you want to be recognized as. Syrian, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to be, son. Because then when they accept it, they got to accept it. Exactly. So when they accept it, what are you? You are what you say you are. But they're going to tell you that you're not. They're going to tell you you're not from Sirius. They're going to tell you you're not Andromedan. You're going to be in a world where niggas is becoming lizards, where they sticking artificial spikes in their heads and dyeing their skin green to become, you know what I'm saying? But these ain't black folk doing it. These white folk doing it. And when I say white folk, I mean people who are following the mindset of white supremacy, which is a bastardized version of demonic possession. You know? So again, that's anybody. That's white people, black people, whoever. Gentlemen, anybody under the jurisdiction. You know what I mean? Hitler said that, you know. If he had, you know what I'm saying, original people with the minds, you know what I'm saying, of, you know what I'm saying, with the white supremacy, you know what I'm saying, understanding, he could take over the world, which is what he really truly wanted. That's right, you know. Look out for some shit to go down on April 4th. Coming up, that's that nigga's birthday. Or his death day. One of them. It's the same thing. But, I mean, he didn't, technically, I mean, that's not true, but it is. You know what I'm saying? That's the day that history says that something happened to him. But look out for that day. You should look out for that day, because things go down. Somebody got to always supply the blood for the ritual. Again, you can go to Lil Wayne's song called Sacrifice. It's on YouTube. Check it out. It's got him, and he's talking about eating babies. He's talking about killing people. He's talking about eating flesh. He's talking about having sex with dead bodies. You know, and this is the greatest rapper alive. Biggie wasn't talking about that. Biggie talked about that shit in the form of euphemism. You always need to do a certain degree of levity in what Biggie was talking about. This nigga just be doing shit. Yeah, he's kind of out there. And his mixtape covers is like crazy. They got one with him as an angel holding a baby, and the baby got on a pair of red chuckers because, you know, he's a blood, as he said. Yeah, and he's standing in a pool of blood. See? And that's the Red Shoe Diary shit, too, though. That's the whole Red Shoe Diary. Prada. The popes. See? So, again, that's a connection. If you're a researcher, you would look at his connections and people around that connections to the Nice Martha. You know what I'm saying? That's a charitable organization that gets donations from him. His estate. This is how you find out who's who. Because they all work for the same guy. Yeah. The devil people. Like it's who it's always been. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, you know. And the funny thing is, the only people that have problems with this type of shit is original people. The only people who try to argue you down about what you believe and all sorts of shit is black people. People who call themselves black. This is despite all of the mosques, all the Moorish science temples, all the Hebrew temples, all the Nuwapian temple, all of these different things we got out here. None of us or nobody has been able to get together. Why?
Because a lot of the people that control those things see more power in the division more so than in the unity. You know, that's why, you know, but they're going to argue you down about different things.
But they preach the opposite, man. What's up with that?
That's how you hide it. You know what I'm saying? That's how you hide a lie. You know, you go out saying one thing, and then, you know what I'm saying, you know, like, you know how, you know what I'm saying, like us as children, you know, we might get it. You know what I'm saying? You know, children always have, you know what I'm saying, true honesty. You know, your parents might say something in front of you about somebody, and then you go see the person, and you start talking at your mom gives you that look like, shut up. You know what I mean? And then after that, your dad might give you that look like, be quiet about that. You know, we spoke about that in private. You know, and then after that, they chastise you like, look, what I say over here, I don't want you to go out there and say in front of X, Y, Z or whatever. That's what these people are playing. They're playing, oh, in the forefront, we all good, we all cool, we all fan, we all this, we all that. But in the background, they're like, nah, fuck them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I don't rock with them.
Not rather they be in the foreground like fuck them niggas.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
It would be open war, and that's the problem with this whole covert, clandestine, underground, Freemasonic. I don't give a damn what type of Mason you are, what you studying. Yeah, you may be in that, but you in this. That's all well and good, but in the end, you're still a part of an organization that at its present state has not evolved to the point of salvage. There's nothing new that you can bring in within that. Even if you merge more stuff to that, even if you merge chemist stuff to that, it's still the same stuff. You don't need to go back to the lodge to do that because the lodge is now open amongst the people now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody know the secret. Everybody know the Illuminati. Everybody know the checkers and the symbols and shit now. It's open now. So what y'all niggas is still hoarding secrets for? What you think you're still gonna learn in there? Akhenaten said we gonna build temples with no roofs, no walls, nigga, with no walls and no roofs. But we only gonna do it in the day. So that way everything is seen in the night. If you a moon cold, you got to do all your stuff in the day. We're not going to do nothing at night but sleep and meditate. They couldn't wait for that nigga to be out of there for them to switch it up. Same way they did FDR. See what I'm saying? He did the same thing. The same thing.
Oh, hookup.
We are now in, like, the verge of 18th dynasty coming again. You know what I'm saying? Ramses coming in. You know, the last movie is to run shit before the total destruction. Like, that's us. And we're dealing with the same people. So, Beyonce, all the videos I'm seeing were she locking black men up, putting hoods in their heads, putting guns to their heads, killing them. And this is who you should look for? Like, I pray. Now, you know, since my daughter's been abducted, you know, and I can't get in touch with her, I'm praying that her mother's not exposing her to none of that stuff. Like Gaga stuff and all that type of shit. All of that is mass possession of little girls. You're going to have a whole generation of little girls slutted out from 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
They're inventing a new type of deviant sex called embryo sex. Whoa. Where they are experimenting on ways to excite the embryo to sexual stimulation. This is what's up. And the embryo that they used, they implanted in a black woman. You see? And she allowed that shit. And that's my problem with the present day mind state of the woman. Yeah, the man is totally destroyed, but when are you gonna stop having sex with this white guy, man? When are you gonna stop? When are you gonna stop? You know, flaunting in my face. You know, Oprah, when the Crash thing came out, she invited everybody on the cast except Ludacris. She didn't invite him until the very last minute. The very last minute. And then chastised him, had all the cast sit on one side and him sit on the other by himself, and then chastised him and blamed him for the destruction of the youth of America.
Yeah. Like she
and
don't ask for that.
Like she was not in full support. And enthusiastic approval of that.
Exactly. You see how they air down and Freaknik?
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's to the point where, again, as a black woman, you can't be on a TV show or a video without being up under some white man and letting him do something to you, or be naked. That's it. Yeah. Just like if you were a young black male, you either rapping or playing ball.
Playing some sort of sport.
That's it. You playing ball. You know, whatever kind of ball that is, you playing it. Either that or you rapping or you singing or dancing.
Yeah, I can say some type of dancing. You ain't even got that no more.
Some white chicks just want the sorority, just want the step-off joint. These original black people let a group of Caucasian women win the black step contest. Just like they let the white girl become the head of Miss Black America at that other university. But all universities are testing grounds for popular culture.
Yeah.
They are breeding grounds and institutes of psychiatric and military experimentation that is supported by the tuition that you pay for your child. You know what I'm saying? That if your child makes it out of school alive, not even if he passed, if he or she makes it out of college alive, despite the date rape and the roofing all and the school shootings and the, you know what I'm saying? If you make it out alive, then you're going to be in debt for $120,000 for the next 20 years of your life. You want to play your joint, man?
I need to get into my joint and then open up the phone line. For those interested in calling in, the number is 347-637-1184. We're going to get into a joint off of the EP that I got coming out at the end of the month. You know what I'm saying? For all those interested, they could check the website for all the links and everything like that. So, yeah, we're going to get into this joint, and then we're going to come back and open up the phone lines. Once again, the number is 347-637-1184. And the name of this joint is called Speaking Crystals. I hope everybody likes it. So we'll be back. Peace.
Peace.
Breathe in and exhale slow, beholding a pale horse. While on the Isle of Patmos, Asiatic but not Hyksos, the man in my life, so I play, hey, ruin my mythos. In the West, I'm known as a Negro. In the East, I'm known as a hero. You can see the history, looking at the glyphs. The walls of Abydos has carvings and spaceships. It goes way deeper than the level they take it, but keep it on the low, homie, just like a basement. So tell me what they know about Europe or Yahuku Orishas. Doggone, new things in the stars for so long, channeling the powers of the Egun. This is not a show tune, this to bring you MFs to your doom. Remember what's blowing in the wind. Don't get caught by the perspectives and philosophies of many men.
I am the baddest motherfucker out there.
My people built the pyramids, so many pyramids. Scientists don't know where they is, but where they is, underwater chemists. Mexico, Sudan, Japan. What I'm trying to say, yo, you was the man. The earth that's 29 million square miles of livable land, and the Sahara wasn't always sand. Globalization is the 21st century Marshall Plan. Think you better watch that, fam. Already got the euro, working on the mirror, writing all the comments to make Obama your hero. Resurrection, Bilal, Nimrod, and Nero. Truth come first like a zero. Rock a Gibraltar, that's the week. Search the records in Memphis, not Tennessee or Bleak. Sharif Abdul as a sheik. Fed symbolize the womb. Bury myself in the beat, now I'm in tune. At the end of the track, I'm exhumed. At the end of the track, I'm exhumed. I'm exhumed.
Yo, that was dope. That was dope. Speaking crystal, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. Super Heru Radio, you getting it in, man. You trying to shut us down, but we still here, you know? Yeah. Literally. They literally shutting us down. And again, we're paying for this, man. This ain't no, this ain't for free. Like, these dudes is what it is. And but really, that's all it can do. That's really it, man. Because on a metaphysical, on a celestial level, we are all connected, man, and we are all in support of a certain idea, and that is rapidly coming into view, man. So yeah, man, we could get into some calls again.
All right, so we're gonna open up the phone lines. Once again, the number is 347-637-1184. So we're gonna go to the first caller, 301. You're on Super Heru Radio. Peace.
Peace.
Peace, guys. What's going on? This is Hotep.
Peace. What's up, G?
Peace.
Chilling, man. Calling from what they call Maryland, but it's really Tony and Moray. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Maryland.
You know what it is. You know what it is.
Man. Exactly. Just want to say, man, I love your show, man. That joint is banging, man. Y'all going in hard.
Thank you, brother.
Y'all going in hard, man. Real dope, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, and the songs is real dope, man. I love that. My favorite song in that joint right now was that Trickle Up joint. That joint is sick, and that Tupac Revenge joint is sick.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
That joint is sick.
Thank you, King. Thanks for the support.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt, man. So keep doing your thing, man. I'm going to send y'all some stuff, too, so
that's what's
look out for that.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
I will. Hold it down out there, man. I know what it's like being, one of the few amongst the many, but...
Oh, yeah. It's very lonely out here, but it's all good. We're going to get it here.
That's what it is. So thanks for calling, brother.
No doubt. Peace.
Thank you, brother.
Peace.
Peace.
You know what I'm saying? Showing the love, man. Words.
That's what it is.
Okay, we got 708-746. You're rocking with Super Heru Radio. Peace.
Islam, brothers. Peace. Brother Wise Cobrell calling from Mecca, man.
Peace, what's going on, GLD?
Oh, man. Y'all really just turned my whole day around, man. My energy was real low, man, but it's beautiful, man. I feel y'all with the, people messing with the show, man. Don't feel bad, because when the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, we have our call, they do the same shit to us, too. Some people can't get on the line. Some people, we killing these devils, man. Straight up. But,
we are, for real.
Yeah, I had, 2 questions and the comment. I'll do the comment part first. I really appreciate y'all brothers too, man, putting it out there that a lot of these brothers, man, within the Moorish Science Temple or whatever temple they a part of, dudes is moving on some conspiracy shit, man. That's why the 4th generation here to clean this thing up, you know what I'm saying?
That's what it is, man. That's what it is, and they know it. The prophet said it, man, so it ain't me. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at you. Read the book, man. Free up the keys. Free up the keys and keep it moving, man. That's really all that's happening, But what's your question, brother?
I wanted to know, how do you spell the name of that brotherhood you was talking about? The Brotherhood of Eleusius?
Oh, the Eleusinian? Yeah. It's ELUSIAN.
Okay. And
there's a book by Michael Bradley called Secret Society that talks about that.
Okay. You said Michael Bradley?
Yeah.
Okay. And I had one more question too, man, because a lot of people get kind of iffy on this, but what all do you know about as far as inner Earth civilizations like Shambhala and Agartha? What's your take on that?
My knowledge of it, I going to some of the caves in Sedona when I was a kid, and You know, you ever have memories of places that you don't think you've ever been, but you have like memories of them like you were there?
Right.
You know, I've had things like that go on, and in research into that type of stuff, a lot of that leads to inner earth type, what they would call mythology, when really what it is the inner earth, whatever's going on in there physically is something that is going on within us symbolically and chemically. So the inner beings, the vampiric ones that you'll see in movies like Descent,
right?
You see that movie, or movies like Blade, those type of demons, those are the ones that's the closest to the surface. So they're the easiest to get rid of, whereas the other ones, you know, are more animalistic, demonic, and they don't really have an intelligence per se. Whereas the civilizations allegedly that coexist there are different aspects of the civilizations that exist here, however, are access points to other places where they exist. So there's you that exists here, but then there's you that exists and doesn't exist in other places. In some dimensions, you're air. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whereas in some, you're water, whereas some, you're a rock. You know?
Right.
This is not reincarnation. This is a soul's experience or God's experience of being everything simultaneously. So the inner earth stuff, Shambhala and all of that, all the real research in that should be looked at into things like the Tibet Nazi connection, as well as the connection with the so-called Montauk shit. But be careful with the Montauk stuff, because there's a demon within that stuff, within that book or those series of books that are trying to engender people to a certain time loop that deals within that. You know, that's part, the Montauk, all that shit is part of the Philadelphia, Phoenix, MK Ultra.
Right. Brookhaven type shit. Yeah.
Right. So, you know, deal with that stuff, you know, wisely. But thanks for calling, brother.
Yeah, peace.
Thank you, brother.
Peace. Peace.
310. You're on Super A Radio. Peace.
Peace. How the brothers doing, man? This is RJ out here in Hub City, Compton.
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for calling.
Yes, sir. How the brothers doing?
I'm good, King. Thanks for calling in.
Good, brother.
Definitely, man. I'm just out here, man, just doing the knowledge, man. Y'all really going in on it, you know?
Thank you, King.
It's powerful. It's real powerful.
Thank you.
Got a quick question.
What's up,
brother, can you break down the connection with Sufism and the Moors? You know what I'm saying? How it's connected to Islam. You see, because I look at it all as like the same lineage. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's the connection with the Sufi aspect within Islam, and how's it all connected with everything?
That's a great question, and thanks for calling and for the support, brother.
Yes, sir.
The overall connection to that can be traced back to a group of original people who have society between the beginning of what they call the Crusades, which is around 934, so-called BC, to about 1394 BC, with the destruction of Demolay. So they were a group that, in the northern section of what we would call Morocco, were the progenitors of what would become the Songhai Empire, right? So the Songhai people were connected to the original people here through a guy named Abu Bakari, through the Malian Empire that preceded the Songhai Empire. So they had this trade back and forth, and they traded mystic artifacts and pyramid study back and forth as well. So what they did was create a order that would become known as the Order of the Rose, that we would today call Sufi, which was another name was called Marabut or Marabut, Marabout. And they practiced the form of divine Islam based on I self-law and master, and not the religion that was being used as a tool of war against against the Moors that was practicing it the way that they was doing it. So they were there, they were in Tibet, and they were in a place called Salamanca. But in the so-called United States of Barbary, the northeast of Africa, they were connected, or their version of it was more a spiritual aesthetic. Whereas in Salamanca, they were dealing with the dark matter, dark energy aspect of it. So they were dealing with some of the black arts of it. And then in Tibet, they were in the transcendence of both of those types of Moorish philosophy that eventually became reoriented by those of the Grand Orient Order and then remodeled as Eastern philosophy. And then Eastern philosophy became Asian studies. And then Asian studies became Southeast Asian Pan-American studies. You see what I'm saying? And then it became what it is right now, which is Asian American studies, which pretty soon is then going to be wiped out altogether by the beginning of what I was saying earlier with the Barack thing, where these guys are getting together and deciding that black culture is basically dead. The same way they did with hip-hop.
Right.
It's the same thing they're doing now. And the same people behind the hip-hop thing is these same people. So, essentially, if you go to the Barnes & Nobles, get this magazine, Scientific American, that's out right now, the latest issue, that gets into dark energy. So that shows you how they're looking at the black man, specifically, on a geophysical, celestial, psychological level.
Okay.
See,
what's the name of that magazine again, brother?
It's called Scientific American.
Okay.
The latest issue of that. And then there's another joint you could get, a Time Life book called Secret Society. Yo, it's all on the cover, son. They got the pyramid, they got the George Washington in the tomb, they got the G, they got the seals. Like, it's a wrap. It's all done. And then the whole magazine is black. It's jet black. So they got niggas kissing each other in here, son. Next level.
Oh, wow.
Next level. They got niggas burning crosses. Like, it's here. It's what it is. It's done.
Like you said, they're putting it all out there, but what we going to do? Not a damn thing.
Well, we going to do something.
Except for those of us that know. Right.
We going to do what we do, and then they're going to bury the dead, and then we going to be told what to do. And then we all going to be somewhere and be like, oh, shit, you here too? You know what I'm saying? Or be like, oh, I didn't know you was him. And then we go to the next phase. Go see the movie The Stand by Stephen King. There's a book. Actually, read the book. The book is mad long, but read the book. I never tell people to read white people shit, but this dude, read this book in particular, because the God in this book is a black woman. And then there's a movie to it, too. If you ain't got time to read the book, there's a movie. Get the movie thing. So, thanks for calling, man.
Yes, sir. Peace to the brothers.
Peace.
Yeah. Call have a number. I guess it's in the chat room. I guess we take one more call before we say our goodbyes. So
it was the altitude, probably.
Peace, Shirako Super Heru Radio.
It was the altitude.
Peace.
Hello?
Peace.
Islam,
Mo.
Yes, I wanted to ask a quick question, and then I wanted to share a quick experience I just recently had. Did you read the AOL article? It was a AOL Wire News. It said Satan in the Vatican, and it says Catholic exorcist says. Did you read that?
Yeah. Did I also that article in particular is in connection to this thing that came out about Lil Wayne, in where a woman is claiming that she is his original wife, and what happened was she some roots was put on her and Wayne, and she wound up kind of messed up in the hospital, and this girl Toya basically took her place the same way they did in the movie Skeleton Key. So this type of stuff is always going on. There's a movie you could watch called The Perfect Getaway. Get this movie. It's recent. It just came out. It's called The Perfect Getaway. It's a Caucasoid version of the Skeleton Key. I would suggest people look at the Skeleton Key first and then look at this movie, The Perfect Getaway, and look at the contrast and how we had to ascend from body to body and how these people did. So, thanks for that, calling in with that, brother.
Also, my friend works for the Wachowski. I can't ever say your name. Wachowski brothers. Well, at least one of them. The other one is named Lana now. She had a sex change.
Yeah, the one that became one of them became a woman.
Yeah. Well, I had an opportunity to actually sit in and watch a new movie that they're keeping secret, and I don't understand. Huh?
That's something else they stole.
I don't understand. The premise of it is supposedly what Lana told us is that it takes, all she would share with us is it takes place 100 years into the future, and the day that I was there, they shot Ariana Huffington and Jesse Ventura. They had Ariana Huffington. I can't wait for you guys to see this movie because I'd love to hear your deciphering. They had Ariana Huffington dressed like an Egyptian Kemetic woman. Yeah. And they had Jesse Ventura. They had him in dreadlocks, and the dreadlocks were rainbows, and then they had like a third eye in the middle of his head, and it was unscripted. Because and all
I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you, but I know we only got like 90 seconds.
Oh, I'll just say this real quick. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I just want to say this real quick. They had it was unscripted, and all they asked them to say is, "All right, tell us what you think about the Iraqi War, based on history 100 years ago."
Yeah, that's essentially what it is, and they're going to continuously do that because that is their purpose. They are becoming us, and we are picking us, or we are allowing them. So essentially, all we could do to tie bone what we're all been saying is that we have to keep the consciousness that we have and ascend it past this to the point that we are so far ascended past it that we don't even have to build on it no more. But the only way we can do that and not fall victim to it is by having sessions and things like this and supporting each other any way we can. So that way when that day comes, we will be able to go and meet and do the things we're supposed to do without anybody being a snitch. You know what I'm saying? Get the rest out early. Yeah, so with that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Islam, brother.
Radio. Islam, brother, thank you for calling and dropping that wisdom. And happy birthday to me,
And happy birthday to the brother. Happy born day.
Happy birthday to my mother.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
Mother's Day to my mother, And thank everybody for manifesting, man. When it's 322, which is a very symbolic day, 322 is the number of the Hebrew people, and it's also the number of the people who cross over the river, which is the river of Styx, which is also the river of Jordan, which is also the Nile, which is also the aspect of Yemayan or Lakun. So let's try to navigate both, or at least be in the middle and be righteous enough to know the difference. And tune back into Super Heru Radio next week, man. Also, get this Time magazine, Secret Society. It's out right now. It's great. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. On that note, we're going to say peace.
Peace.